Alright, hello. Before I start, I'm gonna actually turn off the AC, so give me like 5 seconds. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for that. Yeah, the AC kind of just whirs in the background. It kind of hurts the video a little bit. But, today I'm just gonna be talking about something that, that speaks to me a little bit. So, I kind of want to talk about trying to raise yourself, right? And not raise yourself in the sense that you're gonna be like giving yourself milk and potatoes and shit like that, and like raising yourself as if you were your own. The thing I'm trying to talk about is raising yourself in the sense that you're trying to prop yourself up and build yourself up. It shouldn't come at a cost of hurting others, and this is something that I have had to deal with time and time again, where it's like someone or something or someone that's bothering you, just taking it out of your line of sight doesn't it doesn't fix the problem. It just pushes it out of the way. There are two types of problems: an internal problem and an external problem. You have to find out which one is the one that's hurting you the most. If it's an external problem, it sounds like it should be easy. You just take away the factors that are there externally. So like the easiest example is like if you're getting bullied at school, that would be an external problem, and then you just move schools. But you can't really do that. It's not really practical. Why the fuck? How the hell can you just move schools on a dime like that? So that's how external problems come to be. Internal problems are, let's say if I'm the school bully and I really can't figure out why I keep like hurting people that are around me, so I just hurt people for no fucking reason. That would be sort of an internal problem. And an internal problem you carry along with you wherever you go. But an external problem, but the thing, that's where the gray area comes in. It's not, everything isn't just a factor of, a category of an internal and an external problem. Bro, there's way more deeper shit. First off, you have to recognize if what you're going through is an internal versus an external problem. And it's harder to figure out if you do have an external problem, because you can't just like simulate a life that you don't have those problems that you think you might have. Because the problems that you think you might not really even have them, honestly. It might be all in your head. It might be all a fucking fiction of your... I just dropped my homework on the ground because the fan... It could all just be a fucking figment of your fiction. Figment of your imagination. Put some lotion on the papers so it doesn't run away. The point I'm trying to... I don't know. I don't know what point I'm trying to say. Hold on, let me take a sip of water. Water, bro. Got it. Just get water right now. Pause the video. Pause the fucking video. Get some water. Okay? Water. Alright, I need to get some fucking caps also. Come on, give me that fucking 6 slot. Shout out to Joe for supplying this, by the way. And I lost my train of thought. God damn it. The point I'm trying to say, the core thing that I'm trying to say is, things that you might think are an external problem. Let's say the school. I wouldn't want to say a school bully because that's somebody that you don't know. Let's say you think your parents are always on your case, right? It it might not be the case that your parents are always just harping on you, and day in, day out, you think they're just lashing out just because they can, right? Sometimes they do have a valid criticism, and that's very true in my case. Sometimes I will think that, like, they're harping on me just to harp on me, and it's up to me to figure out within that moment, within those key moments, if it's valid or not. And that doesn't necessarily mean I push them away, because that's pretty fucked up to do. You want to be able to talk to anyone that comes your way, because if you can't do that, then you can already tell that's an internal problem. If it's an external problem, it's an internal problem if it applies to everyone around you. If everyone around you is like is constantly harping on you, uh it gets to a point where if everyone's pointing out the same faults, then it could be a problem that you're having. But some people will attribute it to an external because yeah, I have no fucking clue what I'm trying to say. God, I would say the point I'm trying to make is, but I just said that not too long ago, and now I forgot that point. Water. Um. Jesus, how did I forget? Okay. But to figure out if it's an external or an internal, just if you're in, oh hell yeah, 5 million gold. If you're able to try to take a break from the things that you think are taking you down a notch. That's the only way to figure out if what you have is an external or an internal problem. In my case, I was away from home for about 3 months on an internship. And there I kind of just figured out that like everything I lost a lot of weight. I joined I actually worked out consistently at a gym. I just work out at home now, but I worked out at a gym consistently. Most, if not all, I'd say most. There was one big problem that I'm not really comfortable sharing with that I just kept fucking up on. But other than that, and that was an internal problem. In that case, let's say hold on, let me pause real quick and think of. All right, let's just say there were both external problems and internal problems that were uh taking me down notches. Um, but this does not mean. Oh, this goes back to what I was saying about the fucking like break thing. Um, this doesn't mean that just because you've recognized something as an internal problem, just because building yourself doesn't mean hurting others. That doesn't mean that you can just take somebody else's shit and like just roll with it. I think it sucks when when people just give you shit for no reason. For example, finally we're gonna get to some specifics. When I was at my internship, there were these there so there was a group there. I mean, obviously there were co-ops that were um that were same age as me, probably like a year older, year younger, give or take. But one thing that stood out was like the brown people that I came to know. They were fucking bro. They were like ruthless. Like towards the beginning, towards the beginning of the internship, they were like really nice people. Like just it felt like I was just back home in Michigan again, just talking to them because Ohio's. I don't. All right, yeah, it was like I was just back home in Michigan talking like to other like my fellow brown boys. But towards the end of the internship, it just felt like I was a completely different person. So to them, at least. Why isn't this opening any? Hmm. All right, now that I kind of gathered my thoughts again, towards the end of the internship, I kind of just felt like a huge 180 happened without me knowing. Like when I would speak, the two guys in particular, they would like side eye and side glance anytime I would talk to them in a group setting. When I talked to them one on one, bro, it was like it was a good ass conversation, man. Whether talking about if you want to play basketball, shit like that. But like once there was a group. Oh, nice, another 5 mil. once there was a group, it felt like I was always the odd man out. Like, and I'm not fucking tripping, bro, because at one point they straight up said, "Ali, you're fun to mess with," and it's so trippy, even to this day, bro. It's so trippy, and I've gotten that like sentiment expressed to me multiple times. I remember in junior year of high school, there was this one girl that would like just straight up just say, "Hey, best friend," like in the weirdest fucking voice possible, just to squirm a reaction out of me. Like it happens all the time, and that's kind of what I attribute to some success, at least some success on YouTube, where my reactions just carried some of the content. And it makes sense. It makes sense to a degree, but like I don't get it, man. Just being comic relief to a group all the time, especially at my own expense, is like I don't know, it's just weird to me. But at that point, I just rolled with the punches and just kept going, you know. What was I gonna do? Just fucking like lash out at everyone? But what I'm trying to tell you, if you do make it this far, is just because those things happen doesn't mean you should just roll with it. I I don't know like if I were to go back in that situation, would I do the same thing that I did before, which was just ignore it and then just keep talking. I just don't know what I would do. But what I should do, what I shouldn't, what you should do is, I don't know, call it out immediately. People will know if they've wronged you. So they won't like pretend you like you scratch a dog like the other like in a wrong way. Like you're petting a dog and you for whatever reason you don't like the dog, so you just scratch him. And that dog starts growling at you and you're like, "Hey!" But like you know in your heart that you did something wrong to you did something intentionally wrong to the dog. Unless you don't have like a fucking conscience. You are in the wrong here and you know it because you intentionally hurt that dog. And in my case, um, by not growling, you, I don't want to say you permit that type of behavior, but you don't do anything to stop it. And not that it's just as bad, but it doesn't contribute to you helping you out. Because if I did call that out, they would know that they were in the wrong, and not that I would be in the right, but I would at least I would at least feel better that I'm not carrying somebody else's shit with me. You know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, man. I honestly, this video was straight up just me opening caps and you having to, you know, bear the brunt of it. But there is some truth. If you have made it this far, you are a fucking champion. Not only for putting up with my shit, actually, only for putting up with my shit. Oh, man. Hmm. Um, because, you know, not many people can. And it goes back to the. I might talk about this in another video, but it goes back to like you don't really know the people that you know you kind of just see online. You only see like a particular partition of them. In my case, doing YouTube, people think that I'm just this fucking people like when I would talk to people on like Facebook and shit like that from the game, they'd be like ecstatic talking to like a YouTuber from the game. But then it boiled down to, bro, like this guy's so fucking boring and weird. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck am I doing wrong? I try my best to be the same exact person that you see online versus in person versus anywhere on the internet, bro. I try my best to be the exact same person, because I don't want to be this type of person that like that's gung ho about, you know, trying to fight somebody online, because you know everyone's some fucking tough guy online and shit like that. I still don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Uh but yeah, it's sort of to do with that. Like I try my best to be the same throughout all facets of what I use to interact with. And it kind of just doesn't make any sense that the same things that you could praise somebody for are the same things that you could hate that same exact person for. What was this video about? Um okay. Building yourself doesn't mean that you can take somebody else's shit. Just because just because I felt that those people wronged me doesn't mean I can then go ahead and like take everything sideways and hurt them back. But that also doesn't mean that I should be taking that shit. You have to find out what your situation pertains. Because if you hurt them just as they hurt you, you are not solving the problem at all. You are, in fact, uh, hurting any chance you have at redeeming yourself in that situation and redeeming others. They know that they're in the wrong. Those people that like would side eye you, side glance you, not give you like any sort of emotion, they know that they're not doing that. But it's not up to you to hurt them back. It's up to you to call it out and see what happens after it. You know, not many people go out of their way to hurt you. And when it happens, it's always weird because you know, you can't really put yourself in that situation where uh you know, like you know what to do because nobody knows nobody knows what they want to do, bro. And the sooner you realize that, the better. I, dude, I gotta finish this. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know, let's just finish off the cap opening. We're making good progress, anyways. 16. We've got 16 mil so far. Let's hit 17. 17 is one I really like. You having 17 gold? Oh, somebody's awake already. Okay. Anyways, I hope you're doing good. Well, okay, now I know nobody's at this part. Oh, somebody just got God shoes. I realized that it's 7:22 a.m. Eastern right now. So I realized that God drops at cold are usually um 2 hours after, like 2 hours every odd hour. So that's a good thing to know. Oh yes, let's go. We got what? That's 18 mil. That's 17 actually. I can't do math. All I'm trying to say is try your best to not hurt others around you. People surround you for a reason. And it's something that I have to learn also where it's hard to not it's hard because you want to seek validation from people around you, and you think that you think you already have like the validation of the people that are already around you, so you don't really need it again. But you have to remind yourself and you have to remind the people around you that you're cared for, that they're cared for by you, because nobody else will remind them. Nobody will remind them that you care about them. It just doesn't happen. It might happen when you're like 5 or some shit, you know, but it won't happen after that. You have to be the one to tell like your cousins that you care about them. You have to be the one to tell your friends that you care about them. You have to be the one to tell that your parents that you care about them. Because really, without them, your support structure kind of just crumbles, and it's a really bad situation because once your support structure crumbles, not that you will do bad, but you're more susceptible to doing bad. And yeah, I just realized cell armor is literally this. Huh. I can't believe it. Cell armor is literally just armor, but that's so trippy. Man, I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna title this video. Probably just gonna title it today's date. Alright, 30, that's almost million gold made. Alright, see ya.